Are you tired of the endless supply of terrible storytelling? Of uninspiring, nihilistic stories that permeate most of modern day entertainment? Are you tired of the diversity, equality, and inclusion standards that are forced upon movie creators and actors? Well, so are we. So go with us on a journey as we chronicle for you the latest news in entertainment, as we discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly of the film industry, and as we pave a way forward to see the kingdom of Christ grow and the dragon of secularism meet its end. Now, if you want to support us in our mission, please head over to patreon.com/The Powell Bros, or follow the link in the show notes. There, you will gain access to our exclusive show, The Powell Bros Mini Reviews, as well as early access to both Movie Chronicles and movie reviews. Now, on with the show.
Welcome back to Movie Chronicles with the Powell Bros. Hope you guys are all having a good week. And yeah, I'm Tobiah Powell, one of your hosts, joined with Trent Powell, your other host. Trent, how you doing?
Doing great.
Yep.
Here for another Movie Chronicles as we chronicle for you everything going on in news and entertainment and pop culture.
Yep.
I always love doing this. And yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just every week. I think I say this every week, but every week there's always a lot of things to talk about. I swear, like there was like five things that came up today that I could talk about. And it's like,
really? Huh.
Yeah.
I might be in the shadows a little bit on some of that stuff, but yeah.
That's all right. I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff on it. These type of topics and things.
Nice.
And I'm on Twitter a lot, and I follow a lot of pop culture news, I guess. So that's probably where I see a lot of it too.
Yeah.
I usually just take a screenshot or save a photo, like, oh, talk about that. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what I do a lot. Screenshots. Yeah. So what you want to start us out? What do we got going on?
Yeah. Let's start us off on a good note. We don't do this often. And I'm actually curious. I asked you to do this. I don't know if you did do it. It's okay if you didn't. I understand you're busy. I barely had enough time.
I don't remember you asking me to do something.
Did you watch The Penguin?
Oh, no, I have not.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot.
Okay, that's okay. I won't spoil anything. But do you mind if I talk about it?
Go for it, yeah.
So, what was your opinion of the Batman? I'm really curious about that.
I really like it. I mean, overall, I like it. There's obviously some problems with it, but I think as far as like the feel of it, the feel of Batman and Gotham and just the overall score, cinematography, just incredibly well made movie. Very similar to like Joker, just very well made movies. But in and of themselves, there are some issues, but they're not like they don't completely ruin the movies for me. So I like those movies.
Yeah.
And Batman I like.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. It's funny, kind of side note, we're soon going to be reviewing the movie 7, and the Batman was inspired by 7, and so it was just funny seeing that connection, because I actually watched 7 this week. So seeing those connections, I was like, oh yeah, we're watching that movie. The Penguin just came out this week, and it came like by storm. Like no one was expecting it. No one was really looking forward to it. Like, you know, it's kind of like I've talked about Hunt for Gollum on the show. Like I'm not that excited about Hunt for Gollum. I'm like, why are they making a show about Gollum? And why are they doing this story when there's 100 other things they could do that would be way better? But, you know, I might watch it and enjoy it. That was just an example, but for the Penguin, a lot of people were like, okay, why are we getting a spin-off show, a spin-off show of a side character in a mildly successful Batman movie? You know, like it wasn't like $1 billion film. It was it got a lot of hype, and there's love and hate, a lot of love and hate on both sides for it. And one of the biggest praises of the movie was the Penguin. However, he like, as far as the plot goes, the Penguin's really kind of unnecessary for that story, and he kind of just gets sidelined by the end, and it was kind of shoehorned in. It felt like, but Colin Farrell, dude, like he's unrecognizable as the Penguin. It's incredible what they did with him. Like if I wouldn't have been told that Colin Farrell was playing the Penguin, I never would have known. Like in watching the show, you forget like who is this again? Oh yeah, it's Colin Farrell. How? Yeah. And he looks even better in this one. Like they've got like the prosthetics and the makeup down where like you can't tell. It doesn't like you kind of tell a little bit in the movie, but it's still really good. Anyways, okay, I'm trying to figure out which way to go. People were not like that excited about it. I was like, okay, it's interesting. You know, we'll get to kind of see underground Gotham. So my opinions of the Batman, same as yours, very similar. I love the feel of it. I love the Gotham. I even like Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne and like a young Batman. I don't like the suit very much. I like that it's a detective movie, which is one thing I really want. Is like put my cards on the table. What I really want is a detective show with Batman, a TV show. I don't understand why DC can't just make a Batman TV show. Like, are you kidding me? They made the Gotham show about, you know, little kid Batman, but he was hardly. I mean, sort of about. It wasn't about him. It was about Harvey Dent. Not Harvey Dent. Sorry, James Gordon.
Yeah.
You have the Gotham show. He becomes Batman at the end, and then the show's over. You have Batwoman. You have all the CW shows. What was the Night? I don't even remember. Gotham Knight, or no, that's a game. I don't know. There was another show. You have now the Penguin. You
have a Superman show.
You have
Superman and Lois.
Yeah, Smallville. Oh, Superman and Lois. Yep. And I was even thinking Smallville.
Yeah,
but
I'm talking modern stuff, like stuff they're producing. Like they have a Superman show. Like why don't they have a Batman?
Yeah. Oh, they have. There's like.
Well, no. What I don't understand what they don't have is why they don't have a Nightwing and Robin show.
Oh,
like,
dude, that'd be so.
Those are like the things you should be making shows about. Why'd you make Arrow? Why'd you make Flash? Like you should have made
Flash,
Nightwing and
show,
Robin.
Like, totally. You know, the CW never made a profit from their TV shows, or just as a studio, they never made a penny overall. Like I don't even know if they do now, but like all the like the Flash and Arrow and that whole Crisis on Middle Earth, not Middle Earth, Infinite Earth, all that, like they never paid a profit. But anyways, getting off track. I want a detective Batman show. I like what they did with Batman in the Batman in a lot of ways. You know, it's like it's just like what second year is Batman, so he's still learning, still growing, dealing with a lot of things that come with that immaturity, or that, you know, there's a lot of room for him to grow as the character of Batman, and to grow as a man, as a hero, and to kind of find out who he is. And they do a great job in that in the movie, I think, developing that. It just, in the first two acts, I think were great. The third act, everything just fell apart. I hate what they did with the Riddler, how he's like an internet influencer with like 50 followers, and he convinces them to go blow up the seawall in Gotham, and it just kind of became a huge mess. And yeah. I didn't like Catwoman a whole lot, and
all right. Are you doing a whole review of this thing or what?
I don't know.
Let's cut to the chase.
There's a lot of things to build up.
We don't want a long night here.
I know. Okay. We don't want a dark night. But we do want a dark. Okay. Penguin.
Let's get back to the Penguin. Yeah.
It was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's got similar themes of Joker. Yes, it's like, okay, here it's another villain show and movie. There's sympathy, sort of sympathy towards the villain, but I think it does a good job at establishing like, hey, yeah, he's a villain. He does pretty bad things, and it's just following his rise to power in Gotham. Especially in light of the death of Falcone, and right, it was Falcone, right? He's the one that died. Yeah.
Yeah. So it takes place after.
It takes place after, but there's like a lot. You're getting a lot of his back. It looks like you're getting a lot of his backstory. We got some hints of it, but like we met his mom and whatnot. But a lot of backstory probably gonna happen in the show. It was a solid show. It like there wasn't really any action. There was like one car chase scene that lasted for a minute, but you get to the end of it and you're like, oh, wow, there wasn't hardly any action. There's a lot of dialogue, but I was interested. I was engaged. It was intense. It told a story that was coherent and made sense. And it just by the end, it was like, oh, I want more. I want to know about these characters. I want to see where they go. I want to see more of this world of Gotham in this light. And you compare that to all the other shows, mostly under the brand of Disney, where you have shows like The Acolyte, where you have shows like Agatha, where you have shows like Secret Wars, or not, Secret Invasion. And it's like you have these shows with a lot of action and a lot of things, but they're just boring shows. They're terrible dialogue, uninteresting characters, nothing intriguing, nothing that grabs your attention, nothing that keeps you wanting to watch and keep on going. It's just because you compare it to the first episode of Agatha, which I did watch, and I'll get into that. That the episode was so boring. I didn't care about the characters. I had no interest of continuing it. And guess what, Tobiah? Just so you can, I know this make you happy. I've decided not to watch Agatha because I don't want to give my time to it. I don't care. I'm finishing Rings of Power. They had one episode last night, and then the finale's next week, and then I'm finally can be done with that. But Agatha, I'm just like, I just don't care. It's so stupid. I'll get caught up on like what's going on from watching reviews and stuff. But it's a stupid show. But you compare the first episode of Penguin and first episode of that, it's like it's night and day, like as far as like character development. And they're both shows about villains. But one actually tells a coherent story that's interesting and it keeps you engaged, and the other one is just boring gobbledygook following this middle-aged woman trying to learn how to be a witch again, and then more lesbian witches, because that's what Disney's into nowadays.
Yeah.
So, anyways, you should watch Penguin.
Definitely.
It's like it's like not the greatest thing in the world, but like right now it's like, okay, it's an intriguing TV show. It's like, okay, I'll watch it, and
I haven't watched anything new and like been excited about it or intrigued, especially TV shows. I haven't like enjoyed a new TV show in a few years, I'd say. Well, I'd say so. Maybe like Stranger Things was the last thing I was excited about. That I've been keeping up with. Other than that, like, there's been nothing.
We should do a Stranger Things review when season 5 comes out.
Like all I watch is just old TV shows. Like there's just nothing worth watching. But I'll check it out for sure. My way
through The Office. Yeah.
Are they doing week to week episodes?
Yeah. Yeah, so they released the last one on Thursday last week, and they're moving it to Sundays, I think. So they come out every Sunday from now on. So episode 2 comes out this Sunday.
Oh, that's weird. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, cool. I don't know. It's garnered a lot of hype. Oh, sorry, what was that?
No, you're good. I was going to change the subject. If you wanted to, if there's something else you want to say.
Somber TV it's a rating system, and they kind of like track how many hours or how many households watch TV shows and whatnot. And for the Penguin, what it looks like is they brought in, I think, like 5 million households. Or no, sorry. Within the first few days, it was 3.2 million households watched the Penguin. Do you know how many people tuned into the premiere of Rings of Power, based on Somber TV?
How many?
900,000. Not even a million.
Wow.
This one, Penguin, a side character from a movie that wasn't super pop, that wasn't like, very, very successful, a spin-off of a side character from a show that wasn't successful, bring on a show that no one was really talking about or that interested in, brought in, had 3.2 at least million households watching.
That's crazy.
Rings of Power, one of the greatest IPs of all time, can even bring in 1 million. So, anyways. And it's and just look at the budget. I don't know what the budget is for Penguin, but I guarantee you it's it's relatively low. And not that many people have Max. Like, a lot more people have Amazon Prime, and the marketing for Rings of Power is way bigger. Like, you get on Amazon and it's just everywhere. It's like, oh, Rings of Power, Rings of Power, Rings of Power, and yet no one's watching it. So, anyways.
Yeah.
We can change the subject.
So, have you seen the trailer for Thunderbolts?
I saw it briefly. I think I watched it once whenever it came out. What do you think?
It looks much better than the other stuff we've been getting.
Uh-huh.
It definitely has a feel of, like, a lot less CGI. Because it's not... Like, we're finally getting, like, this is street level. This is what we've been wanting for a long time for Marvel, and we're getting some street level, and you can see a difference for sure. So I think in that aspect it looks good. We're following Yelena, so she's essentially the main character. And
knockoff version of Black Widow.
Yeah. And I think I'm finally going to watch a Marvel TV show here.
It's a movie.
Oh, it's going to be a movie?
Yep, in theaters.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a show.
No. I think it might have been at one point, but it's a movie.
It shows how much interest I've had in Marvel.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why it looks so much better. Well,
right.
No, probably not. I mean,
it could.
Movies
something like that
haven't looked
probably
good.
could work as a good TV show.
Yeah, I totally thought it was a show for the longest time.
You think it would be like something like that? Like, why would I guarantee you this movie's not going to make any money.
No, absolutely not.
It's going to probably bomb.
What the heck is with the asterisk too in the title?
Yeah, they released that at Comic-Con, and it's like, ooh, there's something going on there, but never really explained it. And I'm sure something will be explained in the movie. I don't know.
Okay.
Bucky was there in the trailer. Cool to see him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I was overall just kind of bored by it. I don't know. There wasn't that much that really hooked me. It was just seemed like a.
I mean, I'm a really big fan of
spy thriller.
I don't know, because I'm a really big fan of David Harbour, and especially him as Alexei.
Yeah. Did you watch Black Widow?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. I didn't.
You should watch it. It's actually not the worst.
Okay.
It's actually pretty good. You would like it.
Okay.
I guess I shouldn't say you'd like it. You won't hate it.
Sure, yeah. Based on what we've gotten since then, it might actually be enjoyable.
Yeah. And then the knockoff Captain America, I can't remember his name. I can't remember the guy that plays it.
Walker?
John Walker.
Is that right?
Yeah. So he was
he was the only good.
Yeah.
Sorry,
that's what I was going to say. No, you're saying exactly what I was going to say. He was one of the few aspects of the show that he was in, Falcon and Winter Soldier, that I actually liked. Like, he was really cool.
Newsflash for everyone. He did nothing wrong. Even though he was the villain, from the right perspective, he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
I hate that show.
Yeah, for sure. It was awful.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's cool. David Harbour's cool. Bucky's cool. I know Bucky's in this pretty
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's supposed to be in it pretty heavily.
Hopefully. I mean, I think so, yeah.
Who was the
girl from Ant-Man and Wasp, the villain?
Yeah, the girl from Ant-Man and Wasp.
And what, Taskmaster?
Taskmaster. And
funny thing about Taskmaster. Missing. So in Black Widow, do you I just have heard this. Do you know that how like they kind of did a red herring with Taskmaster? You think it's a dude, and then they reveal at the end it's actually a woman, because in the comics it's supposed to be a dude,
right?
But apparently the stunt double for the whole movie was actually played by a guy, and if you watch it, you can just tell this is a man, like in this suit, and then they take the helmet off or whatever, and it's like, oh, it's a woman. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
but that's how Hollywood views women heroes now. Like they're basically men. Yeah. There's no difference. They just need to act like men. They need to get all the opportunities of men. And...
in the movie, she's actually being the Taskmaster. She's being mind controlled by the villain.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So she has like literally no control over anything. Actually,
yeah, I'm not saying anything like about the character. I'm just saying the fact that they had a man play this
hilarious.
Female superhero.
Yeah,
or
that's
female
hilarious.
Superpowered woman. It's just
yeah. But I feel like we're missing another guy that's in.
Yeah, there's someone else. I don't know who he is, or if he's original to this show or movie, or if he's
else. Some weird guy. Yeah, his name's like Bob or something.
Oh yeah, Bob. Yeah.
What's it called? Thunderbolts. Yeah, that's so weird. That's a movie. I did not know that.
Yeah. I don't know. They must have a lot of hope in this, or a lot of a lot of hope in it to release it as a movie.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's really interesting. But I mean, so yeah, I guess that is everybody. So we got Taskmaster. So we have the 3 guys and then 4 girls.
Girl power.
Well, technically 3 girls. One of the girls is the lady that's putting it all together.
Yeah,
like she's like in control of it. But
you can kind of tell they're trying to do like a Suicide Squad thing.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's exactly what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. Good.
My point is, I mean, I kind of disagree. I thought it looked pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I think that's mostly because, I mean, I liked, what's his name? Walker? John Walker?
I think that's his name. Yeah.
And then
not Captain America.
Oh, so we have two Captain America types in this. Huh. I didn't even realize that.
Is Bucky?
No, because of David Harbour's character.
Oh, yeah. He's okay. I see. Yeah,
that's
interesting.
That's funny. But yeah, Bucky's a primary character in this as well, and so it looks fun. I think it's going to get ruined having Yelena be the main character. Obviously,
yeah. I mean,
but
you can kind of assume.
So I take it back. I'm not going to theaters to see this. I'll wait till it's on Disney Plus to see it, but I will watch it.
Right. Yeah. I definitely will not be seeing it in theaters. I do not care.
Yeah.
Yeah. When does it come out?
I don't know. Let me see.
I'm assuming it's after Captain America.
After Brave New World. Ugh. May 5th.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
When does Brave New World come out?
Is it like March? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
So like, and this is a conversation I did want to bring up, and we've kind of briefly talked about it, but like, why is it? And I have my ideas, my opinions, but why is it that we are getting all these villain movies, TV shows, or anti-hero stories, Suicide Squad, Thunderbolts, all these gritty, morally gray heroes, anti-heroes, actual villains. Why is it that we're getting so many of these stories? And some resonate, some connect, some are hits, and people are interested, but also a lot of them not. So like right now, Marvel has Agatha. We just got off the Acolyte. The Acolyte was all about the villains, and the Jedi are evil, and these lesbians just want to be themselves and have freedom in the galaxy to brainwash children, and so forth. But and then you get Agatha, where it's just all these witches who are evil. They're villains, and there's no sense of morality. They have not really a moral compass. It's just like there's just a gray morality, And then Thunderbolts, it's like, I'm sure like there'll be heroic elements, but they're all kind of anti-heroes in the movie. So I don't know, like, what have you been your thoughts on that? And it's like, why we're getting all this? And like the Penguin, so like it's not just Disney and Marvel and Star Wars. It's like the Penguin, the Joker. We have Joker 2 coming out next week.
Oh wow, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think? This Thursday, on after the release of this episode, as you're listening to it.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot. I mean, I'm trying to think of like some of the. I would say a few years ago, back when like Joker came out, I feel like there was also a time there where we're starting to get a lot of villain stuff.
Yeah.
And that was actually like a lot of what people were hyping up, what people were enjoying more, were these villain stories or even villain redemption stories and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some good examples besides Joker. It's probably the best example, but
that's probably the biggest one. I mean, that movie made
I think the
$1 billion.
I think like the reason we're getting it made it over $1 billion. The reason we're getting like things like Agatha, the Acolyte, is they're trying to capitalize on that and they're just failing monumentously. Right. And
you can have like the Penguin come out and it's successful.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
it's just one episode, but yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Pretty good. Yeah, I think where it was starting, like why it started, we had these people that, these studios that just didn't have good ideas, so they're like, let's make stories about these villains, and they made redemption stories. People liked it. And then they're like, well, they like that, well, let's keep doing that. Now we put this crap out and nobody likes it. And but I think the reason people were liking it is because we were at a time where they couldn't tell good hero stories where the heroes were actually struggling and had to have redemption themselves. And I think some of these heroes are really great because they can get into a morally gray area, and that's where, and they could even get dark, and then they redeem themselves, and that's what makes a great hero story. But they stopped doing that in hero stories. They just stopped doing that in many like superhero movies in particular. You just stop getting that like, this guy's good, he has his powers now he's going into this morally gray area, maybe even dark area. Oh, he redeems himself and kills the bad guy. We stopped getting that. So, but what they did was they had a villain who was already in dark and redeems himself, or just gets the sympathy card, and people like that because it's like it's close to what they truly want, but it's just not what they really want. I think that's most of what's happening there. And then the studios just like it because they get to make these villains look like they're not actually villains, and everybody's
misunderstood.
Everybody's just misunderstood. Everybody's a person. Everybody's victims. So you have that aspect of it too. I think that also makes people feel like, oh, like even though I'm living in my sin, like I'm a victim too. Like I don't have to feel bad about that. It's just the world around me that is the problem, not me.
But the raping and pillaging and murderous orcs they just want to have families. They just want to live in peace. Okay, that's all they want. They want to just have their little safe spaces with their little orc babies and raise a family.
Yeah.
Bro, dude. Yeah, it's getting ridiculous. I think the reason that we're like it was like, you know, every once in a while, like I said with the Joker, but even surrounding that, what year did the Joker come out?
2019.
No, yeah, so
or maybe around 18 or 19.
Yeah, so what we had, you know, the Infinity Saga was concluding with
It'd be 19.
Everything, you know. Yeah. What? Yeah.
It's 19.
Okay. You still Marvel was doing their superhero stuff. You know, you didn't have very many movies like that for the most part. And, you know, so Joker was like one, like, you know, it was like kind of like a one done thing. And it wasn't really being tried like that formula wasn't like there. Now they've taken that formula, like, oh, it worked. They made $1 billion. So now let's do it with everything. For one, I think they're missing the point. Even the Joker, I think making a sequel of it is kind of proven they've like kind of missed the point. Like we're actually creating kind of sympathy for this character and kind of expanding upon the story that we've already set up that, you know, as we've talked about, can have some problems as far as, you know, making you feel bad for this murder is psychopath. And but I think the biggest thing is, at least right now in our culture, is Hollywood doesn't know how to write good guys. They don't know how to write moral good heroes. That we don't have heroes anymore. I think that's reflected in our culture, where everyone's a victim, where you know, everyone's just misunderstood. There are really no villains except for the, you know, those that may actually be the good guys, because they hold to certain principles and beliefs that have been held to for centuries. We're the radicals, we're the villains. But everyone's a victim. Everyone, you know, just is, you know, there are systems in society. There are people in systems. Well, there are systems placed in society that lead to the oppression and inequality of certain groups of those with certain skin colors and genders and such. Essentially, you know, we are in a culture that that doesn't have a moral compass, and that their morality is gray. And so, guess what? They're producing morally gray characters, morally gray films. We don't have heroes anymore. You know, you get like some movies like, you know, Top Gun Maverick, you know, which was a really good story, a very good masculine story with heroes in it. You get one that came to mind was Fall Guy. I don't know, that's like a good example, but like I think Fall Guys was a really good movie, and for a lot of reasons. I don't know why that came to mind, but I think even like it was like a perfect time for Dune to come out. I've been thinking about Dune a lot. I want to read the book again. I just love that book and those movies. But you know, Paul Atreides is a kind of a more like, he's not morally gray. But he is a tragic character if you read the second book and just follow his arc throughout the stories. And I think they like are in a good place to do that. And they're trying to expand upon that story. Now they're doing like a TV show about the Bene Gesserits and all that, whatever. But yeah, that was just another one that came to mind. Hollywood just doesn't know how to write good guys anymore, good heroes, because there aren't any in our culture. And so they write villain stories with morally gray characters that people can sympathize with. Is like, oh, they're victimized. I'm victimized. Oh, I've been oppressed. Oh, I've been marginalized in society. Oh, I'm an outcast. This person's an outcast. Oh, I have terrible, wicked thoughts sometimes, but you know what? So does this guy, and this is how they deal with it, and so forth. And it's kind of a way also for people to vent or like to cast their, like, this is, you know, gets into the conversation of horror, which I'm always wanting to have, as far as like you project yourself upon these characters and like they become a scapegoat for you. They could become a sacrifice that you cast your sins upon them and they die in your place. The villain who is morally gray, they go and die in your place, or they go and are receive the consequences of their actions when you don't have to, and you kind of like project upon yourself upon those characters. It's just really interesting how that happens and how it works. But like, I also think it doesn't. There's also a reason why a lot of these stories aren't very popular. Joker was, it was very popular. I don't think it was for those reasons. I don't think Joker 2 is going to do that well. I really don't. We'll see. Yeah. Agatha, not well. Penguin, that's good. But like, there's even like, there's some senses where like Penguin isn't like they're not graying morality in the show. They're making it pretty clear of what's good and what's evil, and they're just telling a story of this villain, but not in a way that like you still understand there is a difference between good and evil because Batman's in this world and because you're aware of that in the show. So it's just interesting how they do that, and I'm not saying they do it well, and I don't know where they're going to go with the show. We'll see. It might be terrible. Agatha. Once again, like I said this last week, I'm going to say it again. Agatha, it's so funny how they've made this show for a certain demographic, but it's for a certain demographic that doesn't care about Marvel. Okay, they made a show for childless cat ladies.
Yeah.
Who, as I said, listen to Taylor Swift. All right, if you listen to Taylor Swift, this show is probably for you. But it's for women who are middle-aged and probably have nothing going for them, sadly, who've wasted a lot of their life pursuing a career and not a family, and they're like, oh, hey, here's a show for you. But guess what? One thing they're missing in that is that those childless cat ladies who listen to Taylor Swift, they don't watch Marvel. They don't care about TV shows. So they're making a show and like, hey, this is for you. And it's like, well, they don't care. I guarantee you the views for this show are going to be awful. Like worse than The Acolyte. It's going to be terrible because this is for nobody. It literally is for nobody because the demographic that they're trying to appeal to doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Those childless cat ladies who watch Marvel, that just, it's not there. I mean, there are some weirdos out there that do watch it, and they gain an audience like Acolyte gained an audience of people mostly who are just activists who just hate the people that don't like the content that's being produced. So they're like, we're gonna support this show even though we probably didn't watch it and we probably didn't actually care about the characters of the story, but because you hate it, we're gonna say, oh, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened since sliced bread. Yeah. So it's ridiculous where things have come to with these stories and in our culture, but it's mirrored in our culture. This is what we are reaping what we've sowed in a culture, and it's all and where's it all going to lead? Where's it going? Well, it's all gonna die. It can't last. Oh, speaking of like morally gray things, like okay, Acolyte, like the Jedi are. Well, the Sith are misunderstood, and the Jedi are actually kind of corrupt and evil. So like the heroes are now the villains. Go to the Rings of Power. Okay, a show that has based on a property that has a very clear morality, a very clear understanding of what's good and what's evil. And what they've done is they've now created this world where in the world of Tolkien, in the world of Middle-earth, now morality is gray. The heroes. I get so frustrated with this show, and it's like whatever. Like I can move on. I can get on with my life. I don't really care. It's just when I see this happening to this property that I love and that I've appreciated most of my life. But like with the orcs, like these orcs that are villains, that are evil, that are wicked, they are rapists, they terrorize, they pillage and kill people. They're just misunderstood. Like, and they just want to live at peace. They just want to have families. You have the orc dad protecting his orc wife and his orc children. And then you have and then the leader of the orcs, Adar, he is in where they're at the show. He is now making an alliance with Galadriel. First off, Galadriel, who's been an awful character, I think is pretty much the villain of the show and all the choices she makes and all they're doing. But this very moral, feminine character, a very beautiful character. She is pretty much turned into a man in the show. She, a lot of people call her Galadriel for a reason. They've pretty much turned her into a man. She acts like a man. She talks like a man. She interacts with other men like she's a man, and she fights like a man. And she doesn't. She's better than all the men. But they turned her into this character that is just unlikable, that is annoying, that makes terrible decisions. She's just dumb. Okay, The character, the actress. I'm sure she's great. She's fine. I'm nothing against the actress. This is a character. The character is just dumb. She makes terrible decisions. She has caused this chaos in Middle Earth to the point where now the orcs and the elves are at a war with one another, but she's aligning with the orcs while they're trying to go after Sauron and making alliances, and it's just all convoluted and really confusing and is ridiculous and stupid. And then you get Elrond, who comes in and kisses Galadriel. Tobiah, do you know why that's a problem?
Yeah.
Elrond will go on to marry Galadriel's daughter. This is his mother-in-law. And they make out in the freaking show. Like, what in the world are they doing? But that's the thing, is it's all this modernization of shipping and oh yeah, well, the biggest thing is Sauron's become this thirst trap for women, where oh my goodness, Amazon Prime tweeted this picture where it's I don't remember what they said, but it was a picture of Sauron. It showed one picture from the back where his hair is in a bow or tied up. It's really weird. And in the front, he's he's got his menacing looks. He was menacing in the front and glamorous in the back or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
But they're Amazon's actually promoting in the promotion for the show. They were tweeting out what is it? Halbrand or Galadriel, and I don't know, whatever the shortened name for Galadriel and Halbrand is, pretty much shipping them together. Amazon's doing this. This is Galadriel being shipped with Sauron, the devil. What in the world? She's fraternizing with the enemy. She's lusting after the enemy, and we're supposed to think this is a great, beautiful thing that we're supposed to, be interested in, be intrigued, and can't wait see where it goes, and whether or not she's gonna fall for the devil. First off, where's her husband? He's nowhere to be found. Where's her daughter? She's supposed to have a daughter in this time. In the second age. Where's her daughter? Well, not there. Oh, right. The daughter that's supposed to marry Elrond. And it says she's kissing Elrond. And Tom Bombadil.
So wild.
I swear, Tom Bombadil, I don't understand what they're doing. But Is he in it pretty heavily? Not really. I mean, I think he's.
But he still pops up, or what?
Yeah, he still pops up. He was in 2 episodes. I think he's done because he disappeared. But also he's in a part of Middle Earth where he's literally not supposed to be, and he would never have been, according to Tolkien, because he just stays in his realm. But he decides to go way out east to meet with not Gandalf, but absolutely Gandalf. But it's just this gray morality. There's no clear understanding who the heroes are. I've talked about how they hate patriarchy in this show. Every single patriarch is pretty much summed up as just a bubbling idiot, a stubborn, bubbling idiot who's just leading his people astray. King
that's exactly what's going to happen with War of the Rohirrim. That's exactly what they're doing with the king in that one. He's going to be a stubborn, bubbling idiot,
probably
who just is probably hungry for war or something.
Yeah,
he's just going to be stubborn. And
I have better hopes for that. Like, he's the only, like, his character's the only thing that I have hopes for, as far as them handling it well, where he's actually maybe a good father and a good patriarch. Because in the trailer, he's protecting his kingdom, and he gets attacked, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna defend myself and my
but he has a daughter. He has a daughter that won't even listen to him. So
true. So
how good
she's
can
gonna
he be?
Go off and be herself, and
she's gonna be rebellious, and
yeah, I know. I saw. Yeah, I went. They played the trailer in the theaters when I went and saw. What did I see? I think Am I Racist? Anyways, I was like, man, I just want this to be good, but it's not good.
Yeah. All right, what else is going on?
I mean, there's a lot. There's small. Well, they released a trailer for the spinoff. I think it's a show. It's called Ballerina. It's a spinoff of John Wick. But guess what, everyone? In case you were looking for this, you got John Wick, but what if we had... You ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready.
Female John Wick.
A female version. Yeah,
what if we had...
That's what we've been wanting.
Had a John Wick with a vagina.
That's exactly what everybody was thinking as soon as they saw John Wick and saw how great it was. They're like, why isn't this a female? Let's make a female version.
Are you kidding me? Like... I didn't even watch the trailer. It's like I don't care. Like, I'm all for expanding the world of John Wick, because I actually really like the John Wick movies. I think 4 is actually incredibly well done movie, and there's some elements of it that I don't like as far as the story, but it's actually a story about it's a story about a father and a husband. A father, he has a dog. But anyways, story about a husband who fights for the beauty of marriage and his love for his wife after her death and so forth. Like the first movie, as far as like, it's not just about, oh, his dog died, and now he's going to take revenge. There's a lot more to it. And then they obviously expand from it and go through three more other films. And the fourth one's just really good. I like it for a lot of reasons, but a lot of good symbolism and imagery in that movie. A spin-off show about pretty much a female John Wick. It's like, I'm not interested. I don't think anyone's really interested.
No, I don't know why they're doing that.
Well, because that's what we do now.
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah. So dumb. Yeah.
So take if you got a good masculine character, you need another masculine character that's a woman.
Yep.
I think that was pretty much it. Well, so there was this other thing, which is like kind of a good thing, but also a bad thing. Good thing, and like, oh wow, this would have been really cool, but they didn't go this way. So famous YouTuber Star Wars Theory. He's like the biggest Star Wars YouTuber out there. He interviewed the original writer for the Obi-Wan Kenobi trilogy. So the guy that he worked on a movie that you and I like a lot. I didn't write it down. What was it? It's a movie that you and I both like, that you'd be really surprised he was the writer for it. Man, I wish I remembered. I'll have to come back next week and tell you guys, because I don't remember what it was. So anyways, he's a good writer. So Lucasfilm, was looking to do, various spin-offs. They were working on Rogue One. They're going to do Solo. And they're like, okay, what else can we do? And they weren't actually thinking about doing an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie or show or anything. But this guy came to them. He actually came and he pitched. His name's Stuart. I'm going to butcher his last name, but Beatty. Stuart. Let's call him Stuart. He wrote, or I think he outlined a trilogy that he wanted for Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's like, okay, there's a story that can be told here. You you have like 20 something years in between A New Hope or Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. There are stories to be told here. How especially in the aftermath of Revenge of the Sith and all that happens, and what does it look like for him to deal with that guilt of raising up the greatest Sith Lord in the galaxy, and now he's tasked with raising a new hope, the only hope that that there is for the galaxy in Luke, and what's it mean for him to now have to watch over, protect, and then eventually train this future Jedi who's going to overthrow the Sith. So like, what does it look like for him to really wrestle through that and work through that? And so he came up with a story. He did include Vader. Vader was a big prominent, like Obi-Wan and Vader did meet, and he said they have to meet. And this is like, because like for a while I was like, I don't think it was right to have Obi-Wan Kenobi and Vader fight again or even meet again before A New Hope. But because of a line in Return of the Jedi, I think it makes sense, because when Luke's walking with his father on Endor, and he says, I believe that I still believe there is once good, there is still good in you, Father, and he says Obi-Wan once believed that too. Now, if you go back to Revenge of the Sith, it wouldn't make any sense for there wasn't enough time for Obi-Wan to really acknowledge it, like, oh, I still see good in you. Like, no, he's just turned to the dark side. He's just murdered all these younglings. He's become a complete psychopath. I need to end him. I need to kill him, and so forth. There wasn't like, oh, but they're still good or anything. It was like he was accepting that. So it seems like there has to be another meeting of them at one point. Because that one line, yeah, okay, it can fit, it can work. So anyways, he pitched the story, and it was, guess what? It wasn't the Reva show. It was the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie trilogy, okay? And Lucasfilm's like, okay, let's do this. Like, we like this. So they're like, okay, we'll work with this script and we'll figure something out. However, Solo happened and it bombed, didn't make any money. So like, we're going to go in a different direction. These Solo projects with characters, just people aren't interested. Of course, the problem with Solo is that they released it at the wrong time. It was right after The Last Jedi, and it was kind of a movie that no one was really asking for. So, do a Kenobi movie, that would have been huge. That would have been incredible if it was good.
Yeah.
But this guy, he grew up watching all the movies. He saw the original trilogy in theaters as a kid. He's a fan. The thing is, Disney, like Lucasfilm, they don't hire fans anymore. They hire, Disney in general, they hire activists. They hire people that, they have DEI hires, of course. Just watch The Acolyte. That was all DEI hires, especially Lizzie Headland, because she's a queer woman, so she checks off some boxes. But they care more about diversity and activism than they do about people that actually just love the characters and love the stories and want to tell a good story based off the characters. This guy, you can tell he understands the character Obi-Wan. He loves Obi-Wan, and he wanted to tell a story. But Disney's like, no, we're not going to do that. And so when they did with the TV show, like, okay, well, let's come back, let's do a TV show. And they said, well, we're not going to work with this guy, but we'll look at his script, and then we'll take bits and pieces from it, which is basically what they did. Yeah. They took like some general elements and then completely butchered it, and then of course threw Reva in there. One thing that was cool is Commander Cody was very prominent in his trilogy, which I was hoping would happen in the show. That didn't happen, and I don't know. It was just
so cool. He wrote one movie script from his trilogy, or 3 scripts from his trilogy.
I guess I didn't understand. He outlined the trilogy. I think. He did at least write one script for the first movie.
It was going to be a trilogy.
It was going to be a trilogy,
just like the books. Okay.
Yeah. Wait, what books?
His books?
Whose books?
Wait, maybe I missed something.
What books? Sorry. I don't know.
From the Kenobi books.
Oh, there's one. There's one Kenobi book, and I think he did draw elements from that. Yeah, there's just one Obi-Wan Kenobi book. Okay. But
wait. Okay, so I must have missed something.
Sorry, this has nothing to do with the novel.
Oh, okay.
This is just a guy he's a movie. He writes movie. Okay. He writes scripts, and he pitched it to Lucasfilm.
Oh, okay. Is that the guy that you said, the John Jackson Miller?
No, this is Stuart Beatty.
Oh, okay. And so this is the guy that you said wrote something.
Yeah, he did. He wrote a movie, but
Stewart.
Yeah, but apparently it was something weird. He didn't get credit for it because of some legal thing, but he's like the original writer, so you're actually not gonna be able to find where it is. Stuart Beatty, so Beattie.
Okay.
So it's a good interview. You should listen to it. Yeah. It's really cool. It's on Star Wars Theories page. But it just shows like this is what happens when you let activists run and write crazy stories, and yeah, it's kind of frustrating. Oh, looks like he might have been a writer on Australia. Hugh Jackman.
He wrote Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl.
Ah. Oh, wait, and Dead Man's Chest. And At World's End. Yeah. And, no, there's no way he did Dead Man Tell No Tales and On Stranger Tides. I don't know. Oh, that was it. 310 to Yuma. That was it. Yeah, I think he wrote or worked on maybe it was another one. At least that was one of the things that he brought up. But 310 to Yuma, he was heavily involved with writing. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Huh.
I almost had 310 to Yuma on our movie reviews season.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I've had some sort of regrets, maybe. Like, I'm like, that would have been a good
with your choices,
I think.
Yeah.
There's a few M. Night Shyamalan movies that I'm like, because I'm watching through them right now.
Okay.
And I'm like, this is a really good movie. Like,
so, like, which ones?
Well, my big three are Signs, The Village, and The Sixth Sense. Those are like the three my three go-tos. And all three of those are just really great movies. And even knowing like his twist, like, man, the Village is so good. Like, it still tells such a great story, because like when you watch it and you know what the parents know, parents, I don't know, I guess they are parents, but like the founders of the town, like, when you know what they know, like, you still can tell this, like, you can still understand this story, and it's still telling a really great story of how they're trying to hide it and why they did it, and just all these different aspects to it. And that movie probably should have been on my top 10. Another Joaquin Phoenix movie.
Yeah, true.
Joaquin Phoenix.
We got another Morgan Freeman movie next.
Yeah, that's true.
7.
Yep. All right, we should probably
wrap it
to
up.
An end.
I think so.
Well,
and like to kind of like look forward, considering where we're at, like, okay, what did we talk about today? We live in a morally gray culture and I say morally gray as far as like there is no sense of morality, and what's really is we live in a wicked culture. And we live in a culture filled with where villains are winning and in a sense reigning, at least from the outside. It's like what we need heroes. We need stories about heroes. We need stories about men who and women who do the right thing and who stand up for what is right, and that stand against wickedness and evil and tyranny in our culture, and inspire us towards goodness, truth, and beauty. And it's one thing we're lacking, and we want to tell good stories, and and make movies and TV shows and books and all sorts of things about heroes and people that are that are heroic and that do the right thing and inspire others towards goodness. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Guess that about wraps it up.
Yep.
Remember to glorify God and watch good movies. We're out. Bye.
We are out. Bye-bye.